Hello and welcome. It's Japan again, and we are doing another Stardom versus WWE Dream matchup here. It was actually pretty easy to find another five because I did five the first time, and I was like, well, I don't want to use any of the same people, so if I can't really think of five, I maybe shouldn't do a second video or like maybe use some of the same people. But nah, I just was like, bam, 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 found it. Super easy. It's just there's so much talent on both rosters, and it's just like there's obviously like some thread of like certain character workers or like wrestlers that would work well together just because of how they do in the ring. And then there's other times where it's just like this would just be a good match because it's just either extremely like well put together or just I want to see it. I don't. Sometimes you don't even have to have a reason. It's just because there's an immense talent going um, together. So yeah, we're gonna start with this one. I'm gonna already butcher her name because I try to get the pronunciation. I had it in my head and now I'm already starting to worry about it. But Nats Pore, probably completely said her name wrong. The current what is it, Runder of Stardom champion. I believe she could obviously have a match pretty much anybody you could think of, and it's gonna be great. But I kind of want to see Bianca Belair versus her. I feel like their styles are not at all similar. So like I feel like between those two it would be good. And it's just one of those immense talents because Bianca is a former champion and she's a current champion over here. So it's just like I think that just that matchup would be good. It's one of those ones that don't really have like a huge like, oh, we gotta see this, but because it's like it's just two really strong woman wrestlers that just like I think there would be magic that'd be made between those two. I don't know what to say, but that's it's just to me feels that way because of like their conflicting talent or not talent, like move sets and stuff. I think it'd work out pretty well, and I would want to see that. Next up, this one's another one that's like based off of age and skill and like stuff like that. I think it would just be one of those matches that you go out there and it would cook, and that is Suzu Suzuki versus Lyra Valkyrie. They're both extremely young and they're both extremely hungry out there, and I think like with their move sets together I think it would work really well. I think it's a very one that just gels, and I think it would just be one of those matchups that like you put it on this card and this card's already stacked, but people will remember this match and this will be a match that they talk about for years to come because it's just two people super young, super hungry, and I think they would go out there and just absolutely cook it up. And yeah, I mean, obviously I'm the one making the dream match card, so it feels like I might be just overselling it, but honestly that's just how I feel with these two because honestly I like both wrestlers really well, and I think it would fit very well for their styles when you see them in the ring. Next up, this one is again another one I think really fits the style. I think both of them have beautiful moonsaults, so it would be really good because when I was talking to our community member French Fries, who had came up with this idea for the video, he had said Starlight Kid versus Zelina Vega, and I honestly do really like that matchup. But I had one other person that I kind of feel fits it just a little bit better, and that's Tiffany Stratton because she has the prettiest moonsault. I mean, obviously that's the name of it, but also I really do think it's really good. That I think that just those two moonsaults that even if it's just towards the end from one of each, or I would hope we get a couple of them, those would be good. I think they're have a similar build that they could probably go back and forth and it would look good. I do kind of like that Starlight Kid has like that lucha type vibe, so maybe going against somebody who's a little bit more lucha would work out. But I just feel like with Tiffany, it just kind of fits, and I think it would be a really good back and forth. And I think we would have some really good high spots that I think at the end would be really good. It would be one of those matchups that like you'd still the show of just being like that's the one that's going to be played. I think between those two, the chemistry I think would work out pretty well. And yeah, I would definitely want that on the card. Next up, this is technically, I guess, would be like a two for a match. This could either be a solo match, two solo matches, or a tag team match. Um, so I'm gonna kind of put it as a tag team match just because I kind of overall think that's what's a little bit better with it. It's not necessarily has to be that way because like I said, it could definitely be, but obviously on the WWE side, Asuka and Kairi Sane need to be on this card at some point, and they've faced so many people that it's hard to find out who they haven't faced and who they don't have some type of history with. So I didn't want to just give them somebody young. I wanted to give them somebody that's a pretty established team. They're also the current Stardom champions for tag, which is Momo, and I think her name is Fekla. I've actually never seen it, but I think that's how it's spelled and pronounced. At least I've seen it spelled and pronounced that way, like Thekla, but I don't know if that's what she goes by. This one just purely seems like because of like the whole tag team thing, it works out really well. You could really just make it a solo match, but I think it's because like we've never seen that type of tag team match with damage control and that. I think it just fits really, really well. So I just think like it's one of those things where like I think overall the wrestlers would be great to have in this matchup. Obviously, I when it comes down to Asuka, I could literally pair her with anybody on this list, and I would love to see it because one, Asuka's my favorite wrestler, and I just think she's been away from uh like Joshi wrestling in Japan for so long that I think she just needs to have another match there. And hopefully, with WWE being a little bit more open with stuff, we will see a match, even if it's not Stardom. If it's just something over here, I would really enjoy that. So yeah, I'm thinking Asuka and Kairi versus Momo and Fekla. I think that would be a pretty stellar match. It's one of those matches where I really don't think. I'll be honest. I don't think they've ever had a matchup together in that type of sort of way. So I would be fine with it being a tag match, and I think it would work out pretty well because, I mean, look at this. This is just kind of one of those matchups that like it's just a bunch of good talent in the ring, and what else can you say about it? There's really not much else. So yeah, that would be my fourth match, and I got one more. This one I wasn't completely sold on, and I didn't really know to include it, but I felt like it would be necessarily not something I wouldn't like. It fits, but like it just I don't know if it fits for this type of thing. And the reason why I say that for on this Stardom side, I want to see Mina. Mina's just super talented. I really enjoy her as a character worker. It's just she's just fun. She's just a fun person in general too. It just seems like she has a lot of fun out there, and she can get the chops out there for wrestling too. So you can't just be discount that. So she was definitely one of those people I would want in the card. The reason why I don't know if it necessarily counts because like I don't know if she's currently still on Stardom because it's like I know she's working in AEW and I know they have that open contract type stuff, but I don't know if like she's currently still on Stardom's roster. I might be necessarily wrong, and she has some interesting moves. She has like the um like I like her implant DDT, and I forget what the other one she has. I really enjoy, but it's just like she has some good solid moves, and honestly, I think you compare her with a lot of people. I personally, with like the way that she's Mina's currently doing, I think it's gonna be a Liv Morgan. I really think Liv Morgan could get a lot of out of her, and I mean we saw it kind of with Liv against Io Sky. Wrestling a smaller opponent helps, but Mina's a little bit bigger, and I think it's like that size I think would work really well with Liv to show off that she has a little bit more strength, a little bit more oomph to everything that she has, and being the current women's champion, I think it works out really well. This one honestly is one of those matches I just kind of like. I don't think there's really necessarily a bad person to put on either side here with a lot of these matches, but like I think this match is just one of those matches that I think would be really good to add to the card. It just really kind of well rounds this five stack because like there was a bunch of other things I was thinking, obviously like there was some tags, some like, even like a trios thing because it's, big in Stardom. So like you could still kind of get this trios matchup here. And obviously you can use anybody that I used on that first show to kind of redo it. And we could do another episode of this if you guys like where I go back and do some other matchups because there's a lot of other matchups here that, I didn't discuss, but I wanted to make it like a solid 10 matches that are just completely all different. And yeah, you guys will have to tell me. I'm curious what to see in the comments. And yeah, this should be a pretty fun list if I want to do another one of these. I'm glad Franchise came up with the idea of this because it's a pretty fun thing, and I'll probably be doing a few other promotions and stuff depending on when these videos come out because I record in bulk, so sometimes I don't know when this is coming out compared to what I have done. So maybe one of you guys have already suggested one of these matchups and you guys are gonna think I stole it or some shit. But I don't know. But until next time, this has been Japan. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.